What is the best one night stand you've ever had?
So many. I mean, I had so many fun one night stands in my 20s and 30s.
Gee, I wonder what her body count is. Yep, seems legit, but hey, her body, her choice, her consequences too.
So I once had sex with this guy. What was his name? I like to be able to call people out with their first and last names, which is going to be hard for this because I don't even remember his first name.
Bruh.
I was at the London Olympics in 2012, I believe. I was walking home late one night, and this really sexy British guy we just locked eyes, and it was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, being a Chad has that effect on women. I speak from personal experience.
Yeah, and I was like, it's something you would see in a movie. I'm like, what if I just had an affair with this guy? And I walked past him and I stopped and I turned around and he had stopped. And it was late at night. Like, this was dangerous. You know, it could have been. He said, would you like to come back to my place? That was the first thing he said. The eye look that we had was so intense that I was like, yes.
So, stranger you've never met, first thing he says to you is essentially, let's bang, and you are like,
absolutely, yes, right.
Sure, he might be a serial killer, or he might have an incurable disease, but he's hot, so YOLO. Again, I completely understand.
And we went back to his house. I mean, we barely spoke. I went over there every night after the Olympics for a week, had a full-on affair with this guy. It was just like chemistry, but not a lot of like getting to know each other. It was just purely.
Right. And here's something else that a lot of other women say on TikTok.
If he's kind, works hard, and doesn't cheat, what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. That is just the absolute bare minimum of being in a relationship with someone. This is not exceptional. This is not extraordinary. It's also no longer enough.
So yeah, being a good man is no longer enough to get a woman unless you're hot, in which case free access to all the bucks you need. Also, remember this.
Would you rather be stuck in a forest with a man or a bear?
Bear. Men are scary.
With a bear.
What I've heard about bears, they don't always attack you, right? Unless you like fuck with them. So maybe a bear.
Depends what man, but probably a bear.
Oh, 100% a bear, which is like terrifying to say, but
Definitely a bear. Some men are very scary out there.
And it was late at night. Like, this was dangerous. You know, it could have been. He said, would you like to come back to my place? That was the first thing he said. The eye look that we had was so intense that I was like, yes.
So, choose the bear because men are more dangerous than bears. Unless, of course, he's hot, then they choose the man even if he's dangerous.
Just like a woman.
But hey, in case you need more explicit proof, here you go.
That whole flirting versus harassment meme is so true, and I'm so guilty of reinforcing it. A perfect example of this is when I was at Coachella a few weeks ago. I was at the silent disco after party after night one. This dude comes up to me, starts chatting me up. We're having a full-on conversation. I would say we're hitting it off. Now, in his defense, I don't remember entirely if the conversation had gotten flirty at this point in time. But he straight up asks me, what's your And then I tell him it's gay dudes. But then when I think back at this conversation, I'm like, if he weren't 6'2" and ripped and had a beautiful face, I would have thought he was a creep. Like if some ugly dude that you've known for 10 minutes turns to you and asks you what your is, don't tell me you're not going to go running in the opposite direction. So yeah, unfortunately, hot guys can get away with more.
So, where am I going with this? Well, in all of my career of dealing with women, the two most important things that got me laid are the following. First, I pay attention to women. What? Because a lot of the time what she does directly contradicts what she says. Unless, of course, she says no. In which case I've always moved on even when I knew she was playing games. And second, keeping myself in shape. When I was in great shape, I got a lot of action. When I was out of shape, I got a lot less action. So that being said, gentlemen, I've just explained how dating works. Go work out and pay attention. No, seriously. Pay attention. Not child support.
And that's the bottom line, 'cause Stone Cold said so.